I mean, I've been, really passionate about many, many projects over the years, and some of them have gotten stolen. Some of them have got into, turned into series television shows that I've not been included in. I worked for years on a biopic in development, on a biopic about Che Guevara. I worked one after another and actually simultaneously on many different projects that I have been incredibly passionate about, and then they don't happen, or some guy ends up getting to direct it, or something. It really kind of drove me to despair. And it's not just the kind of spiritual despair that you experience when you do not get rewarded year after year after year for the work you do, that you have dreamed to do, that you've gone to 5 years of graduate film school to become good at. And to not be hired and not be paid year after year, and it's a devastating blow. And at a certain point, I felt so low that somebody gave me the book Hunger, the book written by Newt Hampson in 1899 about a writer wandering around Christiania, which is now Oslo, in Norway, and trying to sell some of his writing, and at the same time starving to death. And I was so moved by that book because even though I wasn't starving to death, on a certain level I was spiritually starving to death, and also living in Los Angeles, this apartment life, and not having the work, and you don't want to be working minimum wage at, just some random job when you want to be dedicating all your time to development. You're reading books and you're watching movies and you're writing scripts, and that's what you do. So you live like a starving artist. And that was how I was living really for the most of 15 years after I directed my first feature film. So at a certain point I thought, why don't I take Hunger and contemporize it for a screenwriter wandering around Los Angeles starving to death, and talk about the film industry in terms of that. So I wrote the script and I got it out to a few producers who absolutely hated it and thought it was the most morose subject matter that they could imagine. Of course, Hunger is the first existentialist novel ever written, and really, a seminal novel that modern, American literature really came out of. It inspired the existentialists, Kafka, and it inspired Hemingway. So it's just an incredibly important novel, and a lot of people, I think, thought that I had quite a lot of chutzpah to take this project on, but I think part of that was a certain amount of misogyny. I think they felt that, this then young woman, who do you think you are to take one of the towering icons of Western literature and adapt it. But in any case, I got turned down everywhere, and then I had a friend who was a terrific actor named Joe Culp, and he was the son of Robert Culp, and he read the script and he loved it, and he gave it to his dad, and his dad loved it too, and so they agreed to play the writer and the producer of the film. We just went out on the streets of Los Angeles and stole our locations and shot this movie based on my script. And then in post-production, it was a pretty lengthy effort, but it ended up winning Best Underground Film, Best Guerrilla Film, and Best Film in several film festivals, and to this day, it's my favorite film. I mean, to me, it's the film that communicates the struggle of I don't know, the struggle of the artist or the starving artist.